Yeah.
Now tell me this, we've got the infringement from the 3rd of August. The issue for you is that there has been a treaty regarding your involvement in ownership of the land, and as a result of that you've not accepted the laws that have been made either by the Parliament of the United Kingdom or following that the Australian government or the state government to legislate with respect to anything.
That's quite true. I believe under the legislation and acts presented before this court, the Constitution of Australia is a non-living document created by a foreign jurisdiction. I think that's already been ratified by the High Court of Australia and adjudicated on. I also bring to the fact of the court that sovereignty has never been ceded by my people in this country. We have not been conquested, we have been occupied, which is an illegal act under international laws. And furthermore, I also point to the treaties, madam, and I also point to the jurisdiction of the court. I have asked the court to produce its jurisdiction in this matters in writing. I've also asked the court to produce where it gets its jurisdiction from and where it gets its authorisation from, which has never been produced to me in both this hearing or the last hearing I went to. Sorry.
Part of your concern has been that, in your view, this is a treaty issue and that the treaty issues are part of the original jurisdiction of the High Court, not a matter for the local court of New South Wales.
Well,
So isn't that the preliminary?
well, the preliminary, madam, if you excuse me for 1 second, the preliminary of the matter is that when it comes to jurisdiction in this country, jurisdiction was not obtained in this country. I think that's quite clearly evident by the Act, which was a proclamation, the Pacific Island Protection Act in 1872, and further ratified in, more clearly ratified in 1875 when the amendments were taking place. Now it quite clearly says in that amendments that sovereignty is with us and jurisdiction is with us.
Mr. Ridgeway, you handed me a document that purports to be a treaty, and it seems from that document you have asked for this to be reverted to the original jurisdiction of the High Court.
No. The original jurisdiction here, madam, is my jurisdiction, because my jurisdiction is being questioned by this courtroom. Now, my jurisdiction has never been overridden in this country. We have not acquiesced in any way, shape or form. Now, when I talk about jurisdiction, I talk about the charter of the High Court to hear a matter on this claim. Jurisdiction is not in question, the jurisdiction is mine.
I am not satisfied that it is appropriate to refer this matter to the High Court. It does not.
Well, it clearly states... Sorry, madam, continue.
To me, I have a document here that I have nothing verifying that it is a document that's been produced on a particular date between people who have the authority to make a determination of treatment. I understand that Aboriginal people...
I'm not an Aboriginal, ma'am. Can you please exclude that from the record? I am not an Aboriginal. I am a Yuri sovereign. I am a Yuri sovereign. I am not an Aboriginal. Aboriginal is a word derived, I think, if we trace back the meaning of its history, it refers to a tribe in Italy, I believe.
If we look at the original inhabitants of the land that is now Australia, are you a descendant of the original inhabitants of the land?
I am a tribal person of this land, which you are on now, which we call Katung. The main country we call this land Waububa. Now the dispute here in this matter, madam, is that a foreign jurisdiction was inflicted on me, causing me harm. Now the only way that this could be heard or evidenced or sourced in a proper way is to go through the right channels, which I am, as a sovereign man and as a man who is standing in accordance with human rights laws of this world. Now, when I look in accordance with that, I say that my rights have been violated, and the only court which can adjudicate, or not adjudicate, but which could look at that violation of my rights, which under your charter, not under our charter, under your charter, is the High Court of Australia, because there is matters here of treaty, there is matters here of sovereignty, and this court hasn't got the jurisdiction to deal with that.
I'm not satisfied with the issues of treaty
Well, you can entertain that idea. Yeah.
I understand that there has been some dispute about the way that the initially inhabited the land and proposed matters and made all with respect to all of the inhabitants of the land, and they extended it to people who have been here for 40,000 years or more. However, it has been held by our higher court and the Constitution
The cons-
that the government has the power to make laws. At a criminal level, it empowers the state government and the state will make the authority to make laws in respect to the conduct of citizens. You are here for a driving conclusion that in my view is validly made under those laws. I don't propose to refer the to the High Court.
Madam, I will pursue this and I will appeal this and I will go to the High Court because the...
I propose to deal with it under the jurisdiction.
Okay, now, I also bring notice to this courtroom and I will tender these documents, if I may. Thank you. One to you, to the court and one to the prosecutor, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, in relation to this matter, Madam, it is clear and evident that the Constitution of which you are making your adjudication of is ab initio to the original jurisdiction, which is mine. Now, that is further ratified, as I said, by the Pacific Island Protection Act, which has never been repealed, which is what was used to implant the judicial system of the court system in my lands over British subjects. Now, I say to this court again, I am not a British subject. I am a tribal man of the Pumbalong people. And having said that, referring to the Act, Section 6, 1875, it states quite clearly where authority with the courts places its jurisdiction upon myself as a tribal chieftain of my people. I'm talking about the Act, the Pacific Island Protection Act 1875 as amended. It states quite clearly, Madam.
Section 6 relates to the seizure of vessels carrying native.
Section 7 does?
Section 7 is the penalty for carrying native without a licence.
Of the amendments 1875? I can give a copy to the court if the court hasn't. I've already handed a copy to the court.
Give a copy of the Act from 1872 for the amendment.
1875?
1875.
Section 7?
Right, that's the power to make the exercise jurisdiction of the British subject in Ireland and the Pacific Ocean.
And? Excuse me, madam. Section 75 of the Pacific Island Section 7 of the Pacific Island Protection Act, 1872, 1875. I will draw Madam's attention, if I may, to Section 7 of this Imperial Act. May I present this, please? Section 7 of this Principal Act, which overrides any act which has gone after it, because this is the Principal Act. And I draw attention to saving the rights of the tribe. Nothing herein or any such order in any council contained shall extend or be construed to extend to invest Her Majesty with any claim or title whatsoever to dominion or sovereignty over any such islands or places as foresaid, or to derogate from the rights of the tribes or people inhabiting such islands or places, or of chiefs or rulers thereon, to such sovereignty or dominion, and a copy of this order shall be placed in council. It does refer to Australia, because it says earlier on the Act, Madam, if you read the Act carefully, it says this is an Act for Australia and shall include the Fiji Islands as well. Well, this is up for contention, Madam. Yes.
civilised power, and at this point in 1872,
We were a civilised power with our own law, and it's recognised in the Acts.
Australia were within the
I doubt that very much, madam, because it says that very clearly, and this is the dispute we have here at the moment. Now, this court hasn't got the power to adjudicate over a decision of this magnitude.
Well, I'm going to take a lunch from the German. We'll come back at 2:15. I'll have a look at the materials in the meantime. I understand what you're claiming.
The matter of the case is quite clear and cut, madam.
All right, let me have a look at it.
At the moment, I am being held in servitude against my will. Play games. You're right in my game now. She's speaking over me, madam. And the magistrate doesn't hold any jurisdiction over this courtroom, because this courtroom is my courtroom as far as I'm concerned. You're in my jurisdiction. Oh, thank you so very much. I do apologise, madam, but I will not stand subservient when my rights are being tread on. Thank you so very much.
Governor Phillips' proclamation, mate.
Oh yes, yes. Look, I haven't even looked.
She's got it.
Yeah. Look, this is administration.
You're actually resting your calm, mate. That's good. Yeah.